Quebec, La Belle Province, noted for its natural beauty and its two cultures, and is home to 6 million Canadians, a province unique in many ways, where the heroes are hockey stars. Maurice the Rocket Richard. Who could forget his blazing speed and amazing goal-scoring skill? Jean Béliveau. His signature on a Montreal contract was front-page news. There was the inevitable staged greeting between superstar and star-to-be. His first strides on the Forum ice attracted unprecedented attention. Coast-to-coast television made Béliveau one of Canada's most famous sports figures. His 500th goal scored last season was a classic example of hockey artistry. It was one of the last he would ever score on Montreal ice. After a dramatic Stanley Cup victory, his 10th, the leader stepped aside.
A hard decision. Because first of all, I still love the action on the ice. I see great opportunity for you in hockey. And as I'm leaving, I hope that I have contributed to make this foundation and strengthen this foundation for those who are going to follow.
There are thousands of youngsters in this land who want to play hockey just like Jean Béliveau. There's one they're calling the new Béliveau. His name is Guy Lafleur. The hockey scout. It's a simple job, really. The players are out there playing for Flin Flon and Fredericton, Selkirk and St. Catharines. The scouts check the top prospects time and time again, and their judgments are highly respected. Last year's Junior A crop was a good one. Bobby Lalonde of the Montreal Junior Canadiens was flashy but small. His teammate on defense, Jocelyn Gouvremont, big and rugged, was considered to be an outstanding professional prospect. Richard Martin's blazing shot impressed most scouts. Marcel Dion, a 62-goal scorer with St. Catharines Blackhawks. Squat, steady, and spectacular. Loads of ability and desire to match. If one stood out among the others, it was Guy Lafleur of the Quebec Remparts. 130 goals in his final junior season. No player has ever scored so many. He had all the moves. The scouts agreed the speed, a great shot, the proper attitude, and enormous desire, and he was big. June 1971 in Montreal. Hockey men from all over North America gather for the annual draft of players. Peak interest is centered around the amateur draft. Sam Pollock, months earlier, had traded 2 players to Oakland in return for the Seals' #1 choice. This meant the Canadians had first crack at the cream of the juniors. Surely the Canadians would draft Lafleur. But would they?
The last claim yesterday. The first club eligible to claim or the next order of choice is Montreal. Right.
Lafleur was at the meetings, and he was tense. So was everybody else. Finally, Pollock announced the Montreal decision.
From the Quebec Ramparts, Guy Lafleur.
Lafleur was surrounded by friends, well-wishers, reporters. He was congratulated, he was interviewed, he was photographed. He was, at long last, with the Montreal Canadiens. How does it all begin? This stepping stone career that starts with shinny and leads to superstardom in the major hockey arenas in North America. Canadian boys know how it begins. It begins anywhere, in the small towns like Pembroke, in towns like Trail or Grand Falls. Thurso, Quebec is a pulpwood town about 25 miles from Ottawa, where a youngster named Guy Lafleur was born and raised and learned to play hockey. Lafleur's uncle, Gaétan Lafleur, recalls Guy's early interest in sports.
Whenever he had a chance, he used to come up on the train with us for a trip and stop at one of our camp we have alongside the track there for fishing and hunting rabbits and squirrels.
There are thousands of towns like Thurso across this land, and thousands of young players nursing their dreams of glory in school, at club meetings, in church. What could be more exciting, they wonder, more glamorous, than to grow up and be a hockey star, a Béliveau, a Keon, a Bobby Orr? Nothing, they are positive, could be more satisfying. Growing up, Guy Lafleur could think of little else. Life was one big hockey game, 12 months of the year. Throw the paper, hit the porch, he scores. Be quick, be ready. You never know when the scouts may be watching. Walk and run. Develop strong leg muscles. Be a leader, move up. Keep pace with the heavier, older players. Listen to the coach. Learn from him. Work hard and build up arms and shoulders. When winter comes, it'll all pay off in goals. Guy's father understood his son, encouraged him, and old family friend Jacques Dupont remembers.
He was a kid same as the other, but here in town I would say that we always expected Guy to make good in hockey, because he had the desire that other kids are lacking of.
The Thurso Arena is like 1,000 other arenas, but to Guy Lafleur from the beginning, it was his forum.
I know Guy since 14 years. The reason why he is so strong today is because he has done lots of bodybuilding and weightlifting.
Boyhood friend Yves Lafontaine remembers. And any Canadian boy remembers the thrill he felt when he skated indoors for the very first time. The weak ankles, the wobbly legs, and the anticipation of playing with the bigger boys. Guy first skated at 7, and before he was 12, his talents were being recognized. A team from nearby Rockland, Ontario, selected him for a train ride to Quebec City. Guy met Bonhomme Carnaval. He watched Rocket Richard's son play. And when his own turn came, he led Rockland to the Class C championship of the Mammoth International Pee Wee Tournament. He returned the next year, this time with a team from Thurso and wearing number 4. Again, he led his team to the championship with some remarkable scoring displays and attracting every bit as much attention as 2 other Pee Wee stars, Marcel Dion and Gilbert Perrault. Quebec City was a marvelous place. He hoped someday he'd be invited back. "20 years passes quickly. It's been that long since Jean Béliveau, Le Gros Bill, captivated Quebec City fans with his flawless style. When Béliveau left the scene, attendance in the Coliseum diminished. Only another superstar could bring them back. And in 1966, it happened. The new Béliveau began to emerge. Lafleur scored 30 goals, then 50, then 100, and the fans were stirred. They stormed back to see this young hockey marvel, to see him do what he did more proficiently than any junior before him, score goals. In his final season, Lafleur finished with an incredible total of 130 goals. There were parades and celebrations with each series victory. No junior team in hockey history received as much adulation as the Remparts. The hub of it all, of course, was Guy Lafleur, le phénomène, the phenomenon. It carried with it a responsibility he would have to learn to shoulder.
He'll have to cope with two important factors, pressure and also remaining healthy, because it's very important. Either one of the two could turn out to be a handicap for Guy Lafleur, but let's hope, that he won't have to fight either one of the two, though.
Naturally, he was tested, the way all stars are tested. He was checked harder than others, and the pressure was always there.
He's coming to a top-notch hockey club, and I think that there won't be as much pressure on him as if, say, he went to a club that was struggling. I think that they'll may work him in, and things might just go all right for him. I hear he's got a lot of ability, and he's a likable kid, and I think things look pretty good for him.
He couldn't be stopped, couldn't be intimidated, and he fought back by scoring goals.
I think the thing that attracted me the most, very definitely, was his hockey brains. In fact, I think I made the statement last year that he had anticipation and hockey brains that reminded me of Bobby Orr when he was a junior. And I think if I had to single out one thing, that would be it.
During Guy Lafleur's final year as a junior, every game at the Quebec Coliseum was a sellout. And the house that Béliveau built was once again a special place. Let's join the crowds and the scouts and savor some of the artistry that made Guy Lafleur the #1 junior in the country.
He's got a good acceleration, and he's good in the corners. Normally you don't find a kid as good as he is in the corners. He doesn't mind going in there, and he'll come up with the puck, and he makes good passes from the corner. And that's a big asset for a wingman.
To me, Guy is like a gaudy hog. The only thing Guy don't do like gaudy hog is a mean hockey player. Guy is not. I mean, Guy He's a good skater. He's got a reverse of speed. He's intelligent. He can really pass the puck. He's not mean at all. I mean, and he's good defensively. I mean, if you're winning by 2-1 or 3-1 in the third period, he knows to play defensively. He's just as good defensively than he is offensively.
Guy Lafleur was with us, went first all the way. So I'm very glad and I'm really proud too. I had the chance to coach a great hockey player, and for years and years to come we'll see him in the NHL. But there's no doubt there, he'll be there for years.
Guy doesn't go looking for trouble, but I've seen him at times where fellas and his caliber, and that's more or less try to rough Guy up. Well, Guy won't back down. He doesn't go looking for it, but he doesn't back down, and I think that this will be a surprise to a lot of people who have seen him and who will be seeing him in the future.
If they play Lafleur, okay, he's going to be happy. But if they draft him to sit him on the bench the first year, I'm very sorry. But they will discourage the kid and they'll never get anything from him.
The #1 junior, the #1 team, Memorial Cup champions. Who needs privacy at age 19? Who needs escape? If you're a hockey idol, it's imperative to retreat, to flee the limelight, at least for a few relaxing minutes. In his Quebec City apartment, Guy always enjoyed visits with his family when they drove up from Thurso to see him play. The publicity, the endless praise, the money he earned as a junior, said to be $20,000 a year, and all the personal appearances made Guy Quebec's #1 celebrity. Fame and fortune in the city noted for its pretty girls. Savor these moments, young man. Quebec City has a lifestyle all its own. The sights and sounds that surround you will be gone all too soon. So will quiet days with time to stroll and talk and laugh. Busy days and bigger cities, a faster lifestyle lies ahead. A grateful Quebec will never forget. And Guy Lafleur night at the Coliseum, a memorable experience. The new car he gave to his father for all the encouragement he had given over the years. Thurso, Quebec also honored its most famous son. Other boys serve at the altar now. Other boys deliver papers. Other boys skate in the old arena. Jean Béliveau is still a hero to most, but not nearly so big a hero as their own Guy Lafleur. Montreal, Canada's most exciting city. Why a young hockey star can walk down the street and not even be recognized. At least not until he's a regular on the Stanley Cup champion Canadiens. It's different than Quebec City and much different than Thurso. Guy Lafleur has an appointment with Jerry Patterson, who becomes his corporate advisor. Patterson is also advisor to Jean Béliveau.
I think when you talk about Guy Lafleur's future, the first thing that has to be considered is his performance on the ice. For the first 2 years, I think it's very important that Guy is not upset or concerned or preoccupied with what happens off of the ice. I think it's very important that Guy has the opportunity to perform well on the ice. He's coming into the National Hockey League. There are many records behind him, but he has yet to prove himself on the ice. The important thing to me is his attitude. He feels the same as I do, that there's a long future ahead of him. The important thing to do is perform well in the National Hockey League, and everything that surrounds external influences will take care of themselves.
Si toi avec, comment on dit en français sweater? Gilet. Gilet.
Tax est la même chose en français et aussi en anglais. Same thing in English and French. You have to pay it. Guy, tous les figures ici, les montants de l'assurance, la policy d'assurance, et les figures ici et tout l'assurance qui est payée dans le contrat. Et ici, tous les figures ici et les figures qui est payées ici, tout est moi. Okay?
I think his biggest asset from a coaching standpoint is his knowledge of the game at such a young age, and very few young players have this. We sort of refer to it as a sixth sense, and this is what I think, besides his scoring record, Guy has the anticipation of a veteran player, and still likes to go and get that puck when it's free, and I think that, like I've told many people, this fella, if he doesn't make it, I don't really know who would.
It's time. Time to meet the hockey challenges ahead in that vast mecca of hockey, the Montreal Forum. Think about the past, Guy. You've enjoyed it all. And think about the present. Young and strong and confident, you are determined not to disappoint all those people who believe in you, those who are counting on you. And the future, there lies the sternest test. There'll be pressure, and there'll be problems. The new Béliveau? Is there such a man? Can there ever be such a man? The great Captain Sweater has been retired. Good. They're less apt to make comparisons. Perhaps years from now, number 10 will be as highly regarded. But don't think of that now. Step out on the Forum ice. Step into the NHL.
Hear how the Forum crowd begin to roar when the Canadians get you and score. One goal is not enough, they yell for more. That's when Canadians get you and score. Wagon hockey is the name of the game, and no other team has ever played it quite the same. Come on and join the crowd for thrills galore when the Canadians get you and score.